Suicide Squad finally came out, and I think we can all agree it sure was a movie. And I think it's pretty clear that Warner Brothers is going to keep moving forward with their current direction for DC movies, whether we like it or not. We already know about Justice League and Wonder Woman, they showed the trailers at Comic-Con, and we know about many of the in-development films like Flash, Aquaman, and of course, Ben Affleck's Batman. And now it's being rumored that Warner Brothers is moving forward with an official sequel to 2013's Man of Steel. Not a spin-off, not a crossover, but a full-on, honest-to-God solo Superman film, which is just great. Here's what they should do to not screw that up. Okay, so Man of Steel wasn't exactly my favorite film. I had a lot of problems with it, most of which I talked about here. But that doesn't mean I don't want to see more solo Superman stories. Hell, I probably would have preferred that to Batman vs. Superman. And with The Wrap reporting that Warner Brothers is putting a Man of Steel sequel into active development, it looks like we're finally going to get that second solo Superman movie. So what should they do to make Man of Steel 2 not only better than its predecessor, but the top tier DC movie it really should be? Well, first things first, and honestly I hate to even say it, but we're all thinking it, right? They need to fire Zack Snyder. I mean, he's tried twice now to tell a decent Superman story, and both times he's come up short. It honestly boggles my mind that Warner Brothers keeps asking him back to direct these movies. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he's got someone's son locked up in a basement and won't let him go until he directs every single character in the DC universe. It used to be you only invite a director back for a sequel if the first movie was considered good. And Man of Steel and BVS aren't exactly the most loved movies on the planet. So we need a new director, but who? Who should step up to the plate? Well, before Man of Steel went into production, talent like Duncan Jones, Matt Reeves, and Darren Aronofsky were all being courted. And let's be real here, all three would have been much better choices. Aronofsky may be a little too indie-minded for a big budget Hollywood blockbuster, and I know Matt Reeves is currently entangled in the Planet of the Apes franchise, but any one of these guys would have done something new and unique with Superman. Plus, I'd imagine that Duncan Jones wants to take a break from Warcraft. We all know he's better than that movie let on, and this could be his chance to prove himself again. Now, obviously, you don't have to go with one of these three guys. These are just the first three people that came to my mind. What you need is somebody with a proven track record and who's known to be a fan of the franchise and respects it for what it is. Not somebody who's only used to making R-rated action movies. And Sucker Punch. Next, and this is important, you need to be able to tell the difference between taking a property seriously and making it grim and dark. Taking a comic book property seriously does not mean that everybody is sad and angsty and pissed off all the time. It doesn't mean that every scene takes place at night or in the rain, or that the picture is almost monochromatic. I mean, we don't take teenagers seriously for the same reasons. Why would we take Superman seriously for doing all that? No, taking it seriously means that the more cartoony aspects of the character, you find a way to make them work in a realistic setting, while also at the same time not being embarrassed by the fact that this is from a comic book. I mean, look at Thor. He's probably the most comic booky of all the Marvel Phase 1 characters. But they found a way to make him work. They found a way to make sure that he fits within the more realistic heroes of the cinematic universe. That one line he has about magic and science basically being the same thing is subtle, but it works and it helps explain the more weird elements of the character and how it fits into the grand scheme of things. And since Superman is more of a science fiction character, and science fiction is usually more easier for the layman to understand, this should be an easier transition. Just find a way to make all the crazy science stuff sound plausible. A good writer and director can do that. Another thing a good writer and director would know how to do? Give us a good villain. Since the original Richard Donner movie, Superman has been in 7 major Hollywood motion pictures. Lex Luthor was the bad guy in 5 of them, and Zod was in 3 of them. Then there was the cheap Lex Luthor knockoff in Superman 3, and of course Nuclear Man in Superman 4. And Doomsday, I guess. No Brainiac, no Parasite, no Maxima, no Metallo, no Bizarro, no Toyman, no Intergang, no Mr. Mixia-Spitlick. You see what I'm getting at here. Superman has a great rogues gallery. To just use Lex all the time, or maybe Zod, just seems like a waste. Don't make up a bad guy. We've seen how that turns out. What you should do is use one of his pre-existing antagonists and put him in your new movie and find a new way to make him a credible threat to the Man of Steel. Lastly, and this is probably the most important, you have to make us like Superman. Here's a secret. Henry Cavill, not a bad actor. He's capable of a wide range of emotions that go beyond just this face. A Superman that's pouty all the time is not a Superman anybody wants to see. You keep trying to tell us he's a symbol of hope, but what kind of hopeful person do you know is sad all the time? He doesn't have to be all smiles, and he doesn't have to win every battle. Hell, that's why most people don't like him in the first place. But you have to show us a character who can not only inspire us to be better people, but to be better as a society. I mean, say what you will about the train scene from Spider-Man 2, but that's what your movie should be going for. There's a lot more I can get into, like why they should brighten up the costume or how they should bring in Jimmy Olsen, the real Jimmy Olsen, I should add, but I think this is a good start. Any writer with a modicum of talent can take what I've said here and get the ball rolling in the right direction. I'm not expecting a straight adaptation of a comic book storyline like Superman for All Seasons or Darwin Cook's Kryptonite. I just want to see a Superman that's closer to what he is in the comics and in turn, closer to what everybody knows Superman to be. Superman is an icon for a reason. He's the ultimate hero for a reason. Give us that hero. And Krypto. I think we've earned the right to see Krypto in live action. Let me know down below or anywhere on the internet what you think Warner Brothers should do with Man of Steel 2. What characters would you like to see in the movie? What do you think they should call it? Because I know they're not going to call it Man of Steel 2. It should definitely be something with Superman in the title, obviously. Maybe like Superman for Tomorrow. Just don't adapt that story because that wasn't very good. I didn't even plan wearing a Superman shirt for this video. I was just wearing it all day, and then the news broke that they were going to do Man of Steel 2, and I'm like, synergy, why not? New videos Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Wednesday night. Of course, Wulff Den Live. Subscribe to the channel so you can catch that if you miss it. Don't worry, archive version on Thursday, plus audio format, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Like this video, share with a friend, all the YouTube garbage. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. It was 2013 and I was really looking forward to this movie. The trailers made it look like a Superman movie about all the heart and emotions of the character. One that would get into the hows and whys of who he is and why he does what he does. But the movie I saw was a big dumb action movie.
I'll do anything for Gotham. It's my home.
I'm not going to have Batman finish the drink because Batman doesn't drink.
This'll help you too, Bruce.
That's a fact. You can
Once
look that
I turn
up.
this city around as mayor, you'll be a hero
Batman
for
is
fighting my
straight
campaign.
edge. CM
All I
Punk
need is a
of the
decent
superhero
slogan.
world.